Okay. Here we go. All right, we're gonna start with our ARD deck. Tell me the sounds that you see.
A consonant E, F, Y, vowel Y, combination U, R, K, digraph A, I, J, C, digraph A, U, S, combination Q, U, diphthong O, Y, B, digraph O, A, digraph S, H, V, digraph N, G, L, combination E, R, D, combination A, R, final stable syllable T, I, O, N, digraph U, E, digraph E, G, E, digraph O, O, T, V, combination I, R, diphthong O, I, digraph A, W, Y, R, digraph C, K, U, O, digraph E, E, N, E, G, combination W, H, digraph T, C, H, diphthong O, W, digraph O, W, digraph O, E, U, consonant E, digraph E, A, W, digraph I, G, H, digraph A, Y, final stable syllable S, I, O, N, digraph T, H, E, consonant E, P, M, H, O, consonant E, I, consonant E, X, digraph O, U, diphthong O, U.
Diphthong O-U. I messed you up on that one. I'm sorry. You're right. Diphthong O-U.
Combination O-R, digraph C-H, A.
Digraph A.
We should have a digraph A.
Why?
That'd be cool.
How many letters do you see?
One.
How many sounds do you hear?
One.
Is it going to be a digraph?
We put two sounds in the A that we could have made.
AI.
A-I?
Yeah.
Solid
R. Dollar, dogged,
What is this?
dogged, gate, jammed, nest, think, fork, or, worm, doctor, saucer, aw, boat, octopus, robot, station, shun, badge, kite, pig, boy, oi, king, fee, igloo, spider, eye, apple, app, bacon, a, ball, watch, chair, mop, 5 eye, chair, yarn, easel, red, explosion, shun, mansion, shun, cow, owl, snow, wagon, thumb, mother, box, leaf, turtle, athlete, match, nail, a, fish, doy, tables, rope, light, J, statue, U, saw, violin, George, bat, hat,
Book.
moon, mouse, owl, cup, city, fly, eye, candy, fern, mule, cake, a, toe, elephant, meter, whistle, umbrella, music, truck, rabbit, bird,
Let's try that one more time.
bird, queen, socks, nose.
Good job. Alright, so since it is a B-Day, we are going to move to our instant words. And instant words, ready, Nona?
Snap or instant.
Good. I read, you read. Every. Own. Country. Near. Below. Food. Plant. Add. Between. Last.
Last.
I think that's the first. Nope, I got it. You may go first. Please go for me, please. Go, Ava.
Home, near, food, add, last,
between, own, food, last, country, blank.
Very good. That's the last one.
Near, every, between, food, country, add, below, on, last, blank.
Very good. And so words a nerd don't need to know enough.
That one is
I think I just said it's a nerd, but it is definitely a word. All right. We started reading our concept sheets a few weeks ago, a week ago, a couple days ago, over our new story. I think it's like Henry and his boys, or the boys and his dog. I can't remember what the name of it is. Anywho, we've already done our first concept sheet, so we're just going to run through it really quickly. I read, you read the top row. Hound,
Hound.
mouth,
Mouse.
shout,
Shout.
mouse,
Mouse.
bound.
Bound.
Second section, pouch,
Pouch.
scout,
Scout.
ground,
Ground.
proud,
Proud.
trout.
Trout.
Very good. Anybody want to go first? You went first last time. Let's let Taylor go first this time. Okay. You just did on instant words, friend. Thank you. Everybody is reading while Chandler's reading. Here we go. Chandler, ready?
Hound, mouse, shout, mouse, bound, bound, hound, mouse, mouse, shout, shout, bound, mouse, bound, mouth, mouse, bound, hound, mouth, mouth, shout,
Pouch.
pouch, scout, ground, proud, trout, scout, proud, pouch, trout, ground, ground,
Ground.
grand,
Ground.
grand,
Ground.
I gave you the
Ground.
word.
Like what you stand on.
Ground.
Ground.
I'm
Yes.
standing on ground.
Ground. Okay. Ava, would you like to go next?
Hound, mouth, shout, mouse, bound, bound, hound, mouse, mouth, shout, shout, hound, mouse, bound, mouse, bound, hound, mouth, shout, pun,
Pouch.
pun,
Scout.
scout, ground,
Proud.
pun,
Trout.
trout,
Scout.
scout, proud.
Pouch. Girl, you and those nasals today. Pouch? Like a pouch in your pocket? Alright. Dylan, ready?
Hound, mouse, shout, mouse, bound, bound, hound, mouse, mouth, shout, hound, mouse, bound, mouth, mouse, bound, hound, mouse, shout, pouch, scout, ground, proud, trout, scout, proud, pouch,
Trout.
trout, ground, trout, proud,
Scout.
scout,
Pouch. Pouch. What is a trout?
a fish.
It's a fish. Good job. Alright. Look, there was my paper underneath yours. Go ahead and flip to the next page. Yeah, it should have, silly. Banging your table on the head. Banging your head on the table. Okay, first section. What do you notice? What do you notice? What do you notice, Ava? O-I. O-I and
O-Y.
O-Y. Good job. I read, you read. Point.
Boy.
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 Broil.
Boil.
Moist. Moist.
Troy.
Troy. Very good. Second section. What do you notice?
O-I, O-W, and O-Y.
O-I, O-W-O-Y. What do you notice about C-E at the end of that word? What sound is it going to make? Good job. I read, you read. Join.
Join.
Joy.
Joy.
Choice.
Choice.
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Foil.
Foil.
Very good. Ava, you would like to go first this time? Okay, when you're ready.
Point, boil, moist, Troy, point, moist, boy, boil, point, moist, toy, boy, moist, toy, point, boy, boil, join, joy,
Choice.
cowboy, oil,
Joy.
cowboy,
Join.
Join.
Join. That one's hard. Join and joy is hard. That was where you read last time. All right, Dylan. Ready?
Point, boil, moist, Troy, point, moist, boy, boil, point, moist, Troy, moist, Troy, point, boy, broil, join, joy, choice, cowboy, foil, Troy, cowboy, join, foil, choice, foil, cowboy, joy, cowboy, choice, joy, foil, join, point, joy, moist, choice, foil, boy, join, joy, moist, joy.
Good. And Chandler, last but not least, when you are ready, we are following along with where you are reading. Ready?
Boy, moist, joy, point, moist, boy, boil, point, moist, joy, moist, joy, point, boil,
Boy.
boil, join, joy, choice, cowboy, foil, joy, cowboy, join, foil,
Choice.
choice, foil, cowboy, joy.
Good job. All right. Look at the word Troy. Put your finger on it. Troy. T-R-O-Y. Why do you think that the T is capitalized?
Because it's a name.
It's a name. Thank you for raising your hand, Dylan. Do you have anything else to add, or was Ava's answer correct?
It was correct.
It was correct. We can assume that it was a name. Go ahead and flip back to your first page for me. And we are going to move on from the hound and his boys. There's the name, the hound and his boys. And right back, and we will come back to it on our next B-Day. And we are going to move into spelling. For spelling deck today, you're going to
Look and listen, echo,
name and write. Very good. When you get your paper, go ahead and write your name on it.
Hello?
Ava, do you have a name today?
Huh?
Do you have a name today?
Andy?
Nope, just name for today.
I don't like detail.
All right, here we go. First sound. Here's a tricky one. Aw. Digraph. Saucer. Aw.
Digraph.
U, comma.
A.
Final position.
A. W.
Whew.
I always miss one.
Next one.
Combination W H
Mm.
X H
B.
B W F
F.
E
Qu.
Q
Pause. Qu is a
combination
combination. Q, U. Come on, Ava.
TH
Oi. Oh, pause. Oi. Oi. Hello, right here. Here we go. Oi.
Diphthong O-I
Look at your procedures. Look in this in.
echo.
Thank you. Let's try this one all over again. Oi.
Oi.
Diphthong.
O-I
Final position. Diphthong.
O-Y
Thank you. Mm.
N Digraph C-H, comma
Final position. Trigraph.
T-C-H, comma C-H
Which is a.
digraph.
Thank you. O.
R T Z, comma S
Alright, here's a tricky one.
S, comma
Final position. S, comma.
S,
Comma.
C-E.
Good job.
It's the only
Good.
one. G,
Good. Here's another long one.
J,
Comma.
G, comma
Final position.
G,
Trigraph.
D, G, comma, out position, G, E.
Yep, you don't have to write final position again.
Okay. V,
Final position.
V, E, because V can't go
Very good.
E, that's a B.
A.
A,
O.
O,
Comma. Watch. O.
A,
O, not O. O, comma.
A,
Thank you. U.
U,
Consonant.
E, comma, U, comma, final position, digraph, U, E.
Good job.
O, digraph, O,
Digraph O.
O.
Thank you.
Y.
E.
Digraph E, comma, E, consonant E, comma, final position. Digraph E.
Good job. Slow down. You're good. Digraph E, comma, E, consonant E, comma, meter E, comma, and final position, digraph. Good job. I, comma,
Y.
Ooh, final position, vowel. Good.
D.
Ooh, good. I,
Consonant E, comma, comma,
good job.
I need to fix this.
I, consonant E, comma, spider I. How about spider I, comma, final position,
vowel Y.
good. Or,
Combination O,
good job. Ready?
U,
Mm,
digraph N, G, comma, N.
good. A,
Consonant E, comma, A, comma, final position, digraph A, Y.
good job. Make sure you name it as a digraph. Tricky one. Ow.
Diphthong O,
Ow.
U,
Diphthong O, U.
O,
Final position. Diphthong O. Good job.
K, comma, C, comma, final position, digraph C, K, comma, C.
Good.
R,
Ooh, listen to my sound. Combination.
ER, comma, OR.
Good. R.
Digraph AR.
Is it a digraph?
Combination.
Thank you. Next sound. O.
Consonant E, comma, O, comma, final position, digraph O.
Yeah. Quit second guessing yourself. You're good. Last sound.
Digraph SH.
Very good. And then take your pencils. We're going to move into dictation, but before we move into dictation, I have a couple of things for us to talk about very quickly. One of those things is that we are going to be spelling today with derivatives, so we have to review our derivative rules, and in doing so, we're going to talk about them really quickly. We know that when we spell with a derivative is going to be what? A base word plus a suffix or
A prefix.
yeah, or a prefix. Good job, Dylan. So it's going to have an affix today, okay? So you're either going to have a prefix or a suffix. So our derivative rules are going to tell us today that if we have a base word, that we are going to add a consonant suffix to. What do we do?
Just add.
Yep, we just add. Good job. Our next rule is going to be that if we have a base word that ends in, or if we have a base word that we're adding a vowel suffix to, we have to check the last three positions and make sure that we have two consonants that are side by side, or that we have two vowels that are side by side. And if we do, our rule will tell us to just add. Very good. And then our last rule tells us that if we have a base word that we're adding a vowel suffix to, we have to check the last three positions. If we have a vowel and a consonant in an accented position, then the rule tells us that we have to
Double
the last
the
last consonant. Very good. You're going to have a couple of rules today since we are going to be spelling with derivatives. One of those rules is going to be that if we have a base word and we hear the sounds d, we're going to spell that situation suffix ed. Okay. Also, if we have a base word and we hear the sounds t, we're going to spell that situation suffix ed. Good. And then our last rule, if we have a base word and we hear the sound d, we're going to spell that situation ed. Okay. Let's review our rules for spelling derivatives really quickly. Okay. Here we go. Our rules are to look and listen, echo, unblend, pull down sound pictures, divide your base word from your suffix, make a decision to add, double, add, double, take away or change. Then you're going to touch and name and write, code and read. Very good. Really quickly, let's review our vowel theme song just in case we need it today. Thank you. A vowel in a closed syllable short, coded with a brief. A vowel in an open accented syllable is long, coded with a macron. Vowel consonant each slash an E, coded vowel with a macron. Two vowels side by side may form a vowel digraph or a diphthong. Very good. Art combination vowel beside any consonant except for R. Bracket. Final stable syllable. Accent the syllable before it. And then our newest one is a vowel in an open, unaccented syllable. E-O-U is half long, and we code it with a modified macron. Okay. Remember today that we are going to be spelling with your sound trays, but we no longer have the pictures. Okay. So our color tiles are going to represent our consonants. Then we have our vowels. Remember that if your vowel is long, it goes up and down. If it is short, it goes side to side. Okay. Remember that when you get your base word out there, we're going to touch and name your base word, leave your suffix, write your base word, touch and name your suffix, write your suffix, and then we'll have to make our decision on what to do. Okay. Here is your word. Are you ready? You need to fix your tray really quickly because some of you are freaking out that it looks messy.
I'm not.
All right. Here we go. Nobody touched it, friend, I promise. They've been in this chair. Here we go. Your first word, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, your first word is going to be the word filmed. Echo.
Filmed.
Unblend.
Filmed.
Okay. Touch and name your base word. Name and write your base word. Good job. Good. Touch and name your base word. Or write your base word. Just your base word. Write just your base word. Touch and name your suffix. Write your suffix. Touch and name your suffix. Write your suffix. Touch and name your suffix. Write your suffix. Okay, so we have our base word and we have our suffix. Now let's make our decision. Are we adding a vowel or a consonant suffix?
Consonant, vowel.
Vowel, because our suffix starts with the letter E. Okay, so our vowel rules tell us that we can just add or we have to double. Which rule is this going to apply to? The second, third, or fourth? So we have our second, our third, or our fourth. Which one? Second. Why? Go ahead, Dylan. Thank you for raising your hand.
Because there's two consonants before the suffix, so we're gonna have to add.
Very good. There are two consonants before our suffix, so all we have to do is add. Write your derivative below on the line below your word. Thank you for spelling it. Code it. Box vowel suffix.
ED, a vowel in a closed space, short code and read.
Read it.
Filmed.
Very good. Replace.
This is a lot easier now.
I agree, Ava.
Because all you have to do is you don't have to
Remember what picture.
You just
All right, here's your next word. Ready? Tested. Echo.
Tested.
Unblend.
Ed.
6 pictures. Pull them down.
That's one.
Okay. What's your suffix?
ED.
So is it 2 consonants?
ED is a vowel and a suffix.
There you go. Touch and name your base word. Touch and name your base word. You can separate. I thought you had already done that. I'm sorry. Okay. Is this a long zero?
Sure.
Yep. Tested.
T-E-S-T.
Good.
T-E-S-T.
Name and write. Good job. Okay. Touch and name your suffix.
E.
Very good. Name and write. Good. Name and write. Make our decision. Ava, help us out. What are we doing? Okay. So which one are we going to do? We're going to add. Why?
Because there's 2 consonants
Before the
Vowel.
Before the vowels.
Suffix.
There you go. Go ahead and rewrite your derivative on the line below.
Can we replace?
You may.
Oh, suffix ed.
Yeah.
I'm going to test you and give you a word on your own.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
But yeah, it's gonna be easy.
It's gonna be great. Y'all are doing great. Okay, Chandler, here we go. Ready? Your word is going to be the word granted.
Granted.
Very good. Ava, your word is going to be the word mended. Very good. Ready? Your word is going to be the word gulped. Your word was granted. Okay. Yours was mended, right? Okay, where's, oh, it's over here. Okay, good. Touch it in your basement. Good, name write it. Ready? Good, name and write your basement.
Are we like
Yep, good job.
I know.
What's your basement? Granted. Okay, name and write your suffix. I mean, name and write your base word. Touch it and name your suffix. Name and write it.
I know which one it is.
Okay, write your derivative below. Okay, ED, thank you. Okay, write your derivative below all together after you make your decision. Very good. Girl, is it ED or is it DE? It's ED what? Yeah, it's ED. Then make your decision and rewrite your derivative below.
I think I know what this is saying about the house because it looks like it's saying.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah, good job.
So do I flip it?
Yep, flip it over and put them all on top of each other.
Oh.
Alright, we are going to, thank you for reading your word. I think you're the only one that remembered to do so. Did y'all read your word?
No,
I said
Mended.
Oh,
Mended. Okay. Alright, moving on to dictation sentences today. We are going to start with our sentence kind of reminder. So we know that our sentences are going to start with a
Capital letter,
and the
punctuation,
have a.
subject and a predicate,
All of it goes together to make it complete.
thought or sentence.
Very good. Today you will have a couple of instant words. Please write them at the bottom of your paper. They are going to be the words they, the, and being. Once you have those written, I want you to park your pencil for me.
Being?
Being.
Because it has the I sound in it.
Being.
Being.
Also today you will have one rule. If you hear the final sound today of oi, we will spell that situation diphthong O. Why? Because why does that keep happening? Do y'all notice that? Because it's going to be in the final position, okay? Remember that we are going to be using our reduced code and read rule. So today you only are going to highlight before you code your new learning, which we don't have any because it's a B day, your 2-syllable base words, your affixes, so that's going to be your base word with your suffix or your prefix. Hint, hint, you will have some of those today. Words that you cannot code and read automatically, and then you're going to go ahead and highlight those instant words so that you remember to circle them, okay? I'm going to say your sentence twice. You are going to write it, and then I will give you your highlighter once you're finished. Ready? Pencils are part. They filmed the boy being tested.
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 They filmed the boy being tested. Good job. Highlight the words that you need to. Good job. Highlight the words you need to. we move on, I want you to look at this word, filmed. What are we missing here?
Oh.
Go ahead and code. Thank you for letting me hear you. Okay, what is our last sound? What is our last sound? Okay, how would I spell that sound? There you go. Okay, but if you're coding, do it with your pencil, please. Make sure I can hear you coding.
Actually, never mind.
They filmed the boy being tested.
Very good job. Very good. Go to the word filmed. What does it mean to be filmed? Dylan, thank you. What does it mean to be filmed?
To be recorded.
To be recorded.
Like
Similar
we're doing
to
right now.
like what we're doing right now. You're very correct. All right. So really quickly before we move on, we can read suffix ed 3 ways. Give me one of those ways. Ava, give me one. Ed. Chandler. And Dylan. D. We will only use the d sound when right before it the consonant is what?
Long. Short.
What is my hand?
long.
Voiced or unvoiced. It would be voiced, and it will be read as t if it is unvoiced, the consonant right before, and then ed. Yes. All right. We know that when we have really quickly before we move on, we know that a base word is going to be the smallest form of an
English word.
Very good. We know that an affix is going to be a letter or letters added at the
And
or the beginning to change the meaning or the form of the word, right? And we know that when we have a base word plus an affix, they go together to equal a
Derivative.
derivative. Very good job. All right. We are going to move on to our comprehension for today. You are going to get something a little bit different today than you did or than you have in the past, because normally we read a story. We read our chapter book. Today we are going to be reading a piece of informational text. This is going to be known as expository text, okay? So your little thingy-mabobber, your W chart, it's not a thingy-mabobber, is going to look a little bit different, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to, I'm going to flip over to my chart. So your tabs and your boxes should look like this, okay? The thing is that your colors are a little off because our printer's a little funky, okay? But you will have a red, it will represent our who. But in expository text, we don't necessarily have characters because it's not a story, okay? If we're reading about someone, then we would have a who. In this case, we might not necessarily be reading about someone, okay? Our green is going to represent the where, so that's going to represent a location, okay? Give me an example of a location, Dylan.
CE is like located in Cabot.
Yeah, CE is located in Cabot. Would CE be an example of a location?
No. Yes.
Yeah, it would. It's school, right?
My
Ava,
house.
your house. Chandler, could you give me an example of a location?
A store.
Yeah, a store. That would be a where, okay? Our next one is our blue tab, and it's going to represent our time. It's a when. It's going to be represented by a time. Ms. Taylor gave you that clue away. Give me an example of when. Right now.
2002.
2002.
When are you gonna be here?
That's an example of a sentence. I want an example of a when.
When
Not with the sentence, not with the word when in it. I don't care if the word when is in it. I need to know an example of a when. He gave us the example of 2002. He said right now.
at the end of school.
At the end of school. Very good. Our purple tab is going to represent our subject. It would normally represent our problem. In expository text, we don't have a problem, okay? Our subject is going to be something that we are reading about. What's our topic, kind of, okay? For example, Dylan, you're showing us that our topic is the Titanic. Very good. Our yellow is going to be represented by our details. This is going to be the stuff in the story that we need to keep up with that's important. Are all of the details going to be important?
Yes.
No.
Not
all of
necessarily.
the
There's going to be
question details.
something that's going to be important, but are we going to have to remember everything word for word?
No.
No, okay? And then the orange is going to be the end of the subject. In some expository texts, each paragraph will have a different topic. This one is going to stay the same, okay? We're going to be talking about the Titanic all the way through. You're going to look at your expository chart really quickly, and you're going to notice that there are only just a few flags on them, okay? We're going to do things a little bit differently today. If you look at the bottom of your expository text, you're going to notice that there are some questions, okay? We're going to go ahead and read those questions, and as we are reading them, we are going to label them with the flags that are on our W chart. And when we get finished labeling them, we are going to place them in our story as we read. We're not going to answer our questions right away. We're going to use those tabs, and we're going to label them within our passage, okay?
So then that would help us with our questions.
Right, when we get finished with our expository text, we'll go back, we'll look at the answers from the tabs that are in our story, okay? And I keep saying story, but I don't mean story, I apologize. All right, first question, Chandler, can you read it for me?
True or false? The Titanic sank on April 10th, 1912.
Very good. What example would that be? What would that be, Dylan? A when. So I want you to write a number 1 on your blue when tab. And then I want you to place it on question number 1. And when we find the answer to it, we will go back and we will use that blue tab, and we will kind of keep up with the answer. Okay? Number 1. Sentence number 2, or question number 2. Ava, go ahead and read it for me.
True or false? There were 3 main decks on the Titanic.
Good job with the suffix. What kind of example would that be? What would that be? A detail. Write a number 2 on your detail tab. And then you may place it on question number 2. And then our last question, Dylan, go ahead and read it for us.
True or false? The third class passengers were seeking a new life in America.
What example? Details. Write a number 3 on your tab. And then place it on question number 3. Good job. So then we have one that's still left. What is still left on our W chart?
Subject.
The subject. What is our subject, Ava?
The Titanic.
The Titanic. You can take your tab off and you can label the Titanic with your purple tab. Background knowledge really quickly. Is there anything that we know already about the Titanic? What do you know, Dylan?
That was a ship.
It was a ship. Ava, what do you know?
Never seen.
It was supposed to.
Not seen.
Never seen, wasn't it? Have you ever seen the Titanic, the movie?
Yeah, it's really
Yes.
good.
It is really
I've
good.
seen pictures.
You've seen pictures of the Titanic, but you've never seen the movie?
It's like old.
I need you to go home. That's your homework today, Ava. You need to go home and tell mom and dad that you need to watch the Titanic.
It's like old
Okay.
I've been busy bedtime.
All right, here we go. Paragraph number 1. We're each going to take a paragraph. We're going to read along. Remember that you are still looking for those detail tabs, okay? Or that where, is it our where tab? A when, sorry, our when tab. And as he is reading, I want you to be listening, and then we'll go back and tab if we find some answers, okay? All right, Dylan, take paragraph number 1 for me, please.
Excitement was in the air. Passengers were greeted as they walked up the ramp. The Titanic would sail today. It was April 10th, 1912. The new ship, one of a kind,
Oh, hold on, pause. The new ship
was one of a kind. Ship.
was a one-of-a-kind ship.
It could not sink. There were 3 main decks. The first and second decks were for wealthy families. Working families were on the 3rd class deck. They were going to America to find a new life. There were 2,200 people aboard the ship.
Very good. Any clues that we need to tab? What you got, Ava?
Yes.
Okay, what you got?
It's the Titanic.
Oh, hold on.
Number 1,
Number 1, so our blue tab.
2, and number 2.
Our blue tab is a when? Okay. So what when are we tabbing? Go ahead, Chandler.
April 10th, 2019.
You're hung up on 2000. April 10th, 1912. And then Ava.
The first and the second deck were wealthy families.
Okay,
Working
so
families on the 3rd deck.
so tab with the decks. Okay. And that's going to be for question number 2. So our question number 2 got answered about the
Yeah, we only
decks.
need one more.
Okay. Did we find the other information in our passage?
No.
No.
In that paragraph?
Wait, yes.
We did. What did we find, Dylan?
They were the 3rd class deck was seeking new life in America.
Yeah, they're asking about the life in America. Did we read about that?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Go ahead and tab it. According to our W chart, are we having any more information that we have to look for? No, but we still need to finish reading. You're right. Ava, I want you to go ahead and take the second paragraph for me when you're finished tabbing, please.
They had good weather for the first 2 days. People strolled
Good job.
on the decks, talking and laughing. They enjoyed the beautiful ship. The temperature dropped on the third day. Most people stayed indoors to keep warm.
Very good, Ava. Chandler, take the next paragraph for us, please.
Warnings were sent to ship. Iceberg had been spotted ahead. No one worried much. The captain turned the ship further south. He didn't think he needed to slow the ship. He wanted to stay on his time schedule.
Very good, Chandler. Go ahead and read the next one, too, please.
Suddenly, an alarm sound. An iceberg was
An alarm.
sounded. An iceberg was straight ahead. It was in the ship's path. There was no way to avoid hitting it. The lower side of the ship was ripped open. The water began to gush in. The captain knew he must get the passengers off the ship. It was going to sink.
Dylan.
The crew lowered the lifeboats. There was only room for about 1,000 people. People began to panic. Hundreds of families were separated. The last lifeboat was soon filled. By now, the stern was up in the air. Icy waters everywhere. The lights on the ship went out. The Titanic sank. The ocean floor, it sank to the icy.
The Titanic sank to the ocean floor.
To an icy grave. More than 1,500 people died.
Ava.
The Titanic now rests 13 feet down.
13,000.
13,000 feet down on the ocean floor. It was the first ship to use SOS for help. The ship holds many dreams of the past.
Very good. All right, so our first question. Ava, what was our first question?
It was the Titanic sank on April 10th, 1912. That is what is it?
The Titanic
False.
sank on April 10th, 1912. Okay, you say it's false because?
Because on the actual one, it says right here, the Titanic was still today. It was April 10th, 1912, and then on
The Titanic would what?
The Titanic would, would still
Would what?
sail.
Oh, would sail. Okay.
Today.
The Titanic would sail today.
It's false because on the other paragraph right here, it says first 2 days people scrolled the deck, and then on right here it says the temperature dropped the third day.
Okay.
And they said it was that day, so it would be like the 13th, April 13th.
Very
No.
good. So true or false?
It's not true.
True or false? What do you think?
True.
You think it's true that it sank
No.
on April 10th?
No.
Oh,
no, it's false.
It's false, yeah. So our answer would be false. So you can move your tab back down if you choose, and you may answer your question or you may leave it there. That's up to you. All right, number 2, true or false? There were 3 main decks on the Titanic. What do you think, Chandler?
False. True.
True. Okay, why do you think it's true?
Because it said down at the question it says there's 3 main decks, and up in the first paragraph it says we're on the 3rd class deck.
Very good. So there are 3. You may go ahead and answer your question now.
That's true. I knew that.
And then Dylan, you're wanting to answer number 3?
Yes.
Okay, so true or false? 3rd class passengers were seeking a new life in America. What do you think?
True.
How do you know?
Because in the first passage it says in the 3rd class they were going to America to find a new life.
Because they were what?
Going to
They were going to America to find.
Because why?
Because
Were they?
they're not
like
wealthy.
they were rich.
They were not
Not
rich.
rich.
So they were going to America to find a new life. Very good. Go ahead and answer your question to number 3. And then park your pencil for me.
And then here's
So our Titanic expository text was read for information. Tell me something new that you learned about the Titanic. What you got, Dylan?
I learned that it went 13,000 feet deep in the ocean.
Okay, so it sank 13,000 feet deep in the ocean. What you got, Chandler?
It only held there was 2,200 people on it, but it only had room for 1,000.
Okay, so there were 13, hold on, explain that to me one more time.
There was 2,200 people on it.
On the Titanic,
But the Titanic only had room for 1,000.
1,000 people in the
Lifeboat.
lifeboat. So like as the Titanic was sinking, these were the little boats on the side that were there to save everybody. Okay. Ava, what's something that you learned?
I didn't know the Titanic sank before I was born.
You didn't know it sank before you were born?
No.
It sank before Mrs. Taylor was born.
It sank before my grandma.
God. It probably did sink before your grandma was born because my grandma was born in 1952.
Wait, when did it sink?
And it sank in 1912.
1912.
It was born a
My
long
mom
time
was
before I
born in 1989.
Okay, age. Y'all are making Miss Taylor feel old. Let's move on. Okay. We are going to move on to comprehension for today. Okay. For comprehension today, we are going to work on paraphrasing or retelling a little bit. This is kind of like what we do whenever we read a story and Miss Taylor is doing the flags for us. How at the end we have to write a what?
Summary.
A summary. So each of you are going to get a picture today. I'm going to ask you to tell the picture in your own words, and then I'm going to ask someone else to retell the story, okay? Here's the thing. Are two of you going to tell the story the same way?
No.
No, because I want to see, we will tell it all a little different. So I want to see how different our stories are. Ava, here you go. I'm really hungry, Mom, Jacob said. How soon will we get home? In about an hour, Mom said. We have to get a prescription filled and buy groceries, and then we can go home. But I'm hungry. My stomach is growling, Jacob complained. Then Mom turned in the prescription. Jacob noticed a jar of sample cookies on the counter. Never mind, Mom, he said. These cookies are just what I needed. Ava, retell the story for me.
That he was really hungry.
Oh, he who?
Jacob.
Quick in my hands. Jacob was really hungry.
Jacob was really hungry, and he asked his mom if he could go home and milk, and she was like, wait, and he was like, when are we gonna get home? And she was like, in an hour. And he got this example
Prescription.
prescription, and he found his example cookies, and he said those were perfect.
Are they example cookies? Sample cookies.
Sample
Hey, sample, what is that an example of? What kind of syllable type is that?
PLD.
PLE, which is a final
Syllable.
Very good. Dylan, can you retell the story in your words, please?
Jake was hungry and his mom was filling a prescription and he didn't have food that he could eat, so his mom turned the prescription in and then he turned around and saw the sample cookies right behind him and he said, okay, these are all.
Okay. Did Ava and Dylan tell the story the same way? No, they didn't. Okay.
Oh,
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Did they both get the important details?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both get the important details. They sure
forgot
did.
to say, she said we had to go to Walmart and then.
Well, she said we have to go buy groceries. You're correct. All right, here we go. Dylan, are you listening?
I know.
It was Dylan's first day vacation. He was supposed to get together with his friend, but he woke up with a sore throat. His nose was running and his head ached. Dylan's mom checked his temperature. No fever, son, she said, but you'll have to rest inside today. You'll need to drink lots of water to help you feel better soon. May I have a friend over? Dylan asked. Probably Chandler. No, your friend might catch whatever you have. Besides, you'll have more fun with your friend when you have more energy and feel better. Dylan decided to read a book and rest. Maybe tomorrow he can feel much better. Dylan, I love you, friend, but I can't imagine you reading a book and resting.
Oh, you can.
All right, Chandler, tell us the story in your own words, man.
Dylan was on vacation and he wanted to play with his friends and he asked his mom if they could come over, but his mom said no because he was sick. He was sick. His mom thought he was sick, so she checked his temperature and it was he had fever.
Ava's retell.
And she said not today because if his friend does come over, then they would probably catch what he had.
Very good. All right, Ava. Now retell it in your own words.
That Dylan posted.
Go ahead, Ava.
That Dylan didn't feel good, and and his mom, he asked him to see if his friends can come over, but his mom said no because his mom didn't want his friends to get sick and her get in trouble, and so she told him to drink a lot of water and read a book.
Well, did she tell him to read a book,
No,
or did
he
she just say
read a
to
book.
rest? Yeah. So really quickly, it says it was Dylan's first day of vacation. Does it have to be a literal vacation? Like, did Dylan go somewhere on vacation?
No.
What's another example of vacation?
Like your weekends.
Yeah, like your weekend, or even when we get out of school for summer.
That's a
What about
vacation.
Christmas break? Would that be an
That's a
example?
break.
Yeah, that would be a break. Okay. All right, Dylan. Here we go.
It's easy.
Becky, with the big hair, and her family went to the cabin by a lake for their vacation. For the first few days, Becky swam and explored the area outdoors. Then it rained for 2 days. Becky was bored. Then she had an idea. She took the blanket off of her bed and put it over a small table. Then she got some juice, her favorite teddy bear, and some books. She built a playhouse for herself, and then she sat inside it and read stories to her bear. This is a great way to spend a rainy day on vacation, said Becky. Retell the story in your own words, man.
So Becky went to a vacation. She went to a date, and for the first few days she went swimming, and then it started raining, so she couldn't swim. So she went back inside. She took the blanket off her bed. She put it over her table, and she got some books, juice, and her bear, and read to her bear. And it said, "This is a great way to keep your head out of rain."
Very good. So Dylan gave us a very explicit retell with all of the details. Is it important that we keep all of the details? We need to keep the important details. What did he forget, Ava?
He said he forgot to say that she got bored because it was raining outside.
She did
That's
get
a
it. He also forgot to say that it was Becky with the big hair.
Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
All right, friends. So when I retell, I am basically just telling the story again, but in whose words? Yours. Kind of like those movie trailers. You know how when you see a preview for a movie, how it's like a shortened, condensed version of the movie in like 30 seconds? That's exactly what paraphrasing or retelling is like, okay? If I read a book and Miss Wilson wanted to know about the book, would I tell her how the book ended?
No. You tell her how it began.
I would tell her how it began, and maybe even through the climax, right, to get her interested, to tell her what the problem was. But I'm not going to tell her the solution or the end, okay?
Because that would be giving it away.
Very good, my friends. All right, tomorrow when we meet, we will do an A day, okay? Thank you for your hard work today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Dylan, go say hi to Miss Brenda and turn our video off for us.
Bye.